Hey, everybody. I know it's very late and a surprise, as Cat's Gallery says. Uh, but this is a very important, as all Amber Alerts are. This one, because they do not believe that this child um, is harmed so far. We'll get into the story, okay? So it's very important. Everybody needs to share it. If you live in Washington State, very important to keep your eyes open, specifically Yakima and the surrounding um, cities and counties. Is that how you say it, Yakima? I always say it wrong, but maybe I got it right this time. Uh, Thank you to my lovely mod, One Life to Live, who let me know about this Amber Alert as I was working on some content anyway. And of course, that baby keeps me up. So let's just jump right into it. I hope you liked my new intro, by the way. Figured I might as well play it while I was getting my stuff together. Okay, so what am I talking about? Well, it's a very, very intense um, backstory, but let's just get the basics right. As usual, we have a Washington State Patrol and a uh, normal Amber Alert, right? So to the right is Elias Huizar. I believe that's how you say it. Probably wrong on that. But here's the guy on the screen. This is the father. This is his son, uh, Ramon Huizar, I guess. I'm going to butcher that. I'm sorry. But the suspected, this was, I believe, earlier today, 5 p.m. And again, Yakima, this man murdered, or he is a suspect of murdering his ex-wife and girlfriend. You heard me right. Yeah, Yakima. Oh, Yakima. Okay. Of course. See, I butchered that in um the other little missing boy that was found in the river. Anyway, so again, Washington State Patrol, Amber Alert for Elias and Roman Huizar. Huizar, whichever one that is. Um, Last seen in a silver 2009 Toyota Corolla, Washington license plate. You see it on the screen. Please call law enforcement if you see these people. He is suspected to be on the run to Mexico, which this is also important for people who were in the states, you know, um, from Washington all the way down to California and over to Texas, just in case we don't know his direction of travel yet that I have come across. But please just take note of this and share this information because this man is an ex-cop. There's a lot of backstory, but he is suspected of murdering his ex-wife and girlfriend. And then his 1-year-old is missing. This is crucial. So if anybody sees anything, please call law enforcement, even if you aren't 100%. All right. Now the backstory. It's very intense. So prepare yourself. Um, Even I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around it because I'm not understanding how this could have happened, how this was not prevented. Okay. And I'm not blaming or trying to put blame on anyone, but you'll see what I mean. Let me check in my chat before I start. I never got one either. I never got an Amber Alert. And I assumed that this was um, national when this kind of stuff happens. Yeah, 4 hours away and I got 2 different alerts. I didn't get anything here in Texas. Hi, Metal Clips. Yeah, I know. Earth, good to see you, love. Yakima. Thank you, Tracy. Yakima. I'm in Washington and I haven't heard anything about this. Okay, well, let's just get into it then. I just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you, Eliza, for being here. Nay. All right. So this alleged, on your screen, was working at a Richland elementary school, had a long history of allegations and investigations for crimes involving children. Now you see why this is so crucial and so important. Not that it wasn't anyway, but I mean, this is just red flags from start to finish, and every second is dire on this. I'm terrified for this little one, but this is the man we're talking about. I want to know how to say that last name so I don't butcher it all the time. How to say this name. Let's see.
pronouncenames.com.
Yeah. Huizar? Wow. Okay. I hope that's right. So, discussions of domestic violence and crimes against children, this word here, and other criminal acts are a part of this article. I haven't even read it yet. But when I saw basically the recap summary on Google, I was like, oh my God. But this needs to be out so that people know the urgency, on top of the fact that it's an emergency. You know what I mean? The highest of highest alerts. So the names of the minors have been changed in this, but it looks like this man, again, his name is Elias. He was hired by a school district in Richland to teach at Jefferson Elementary School, and the alleged PDF file, Elias had a trail of allegations and investigations behind him that included R of a child and DV at another elementary school. So not only did he have, the background of your worst nightmares for being around a child and having a child, he is a suspect again in his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife and current girlfriend's murder. Because I'm assuming from what I'm reading here, he is already pretty much, maybe they were going to tell on him or be, witnesses to this. I'm not sure yet, but it just kind of gives the vibe that that's what's going on. So no idea about motive. Again, he's just a suspect at this point. But if he's on the run, kind of makes sense. Right? So under the Washington Public Records, Tumbleweird, which I've never heard of this website, so thank you, Tumbleweird. They obtained records from the Yakima Police Department, the West Richland Police Department, and the Richland School District, and they are pending requests from the State Attorney General and Union Gap Police Department. This is a ex-police officer, by the way. Suspicions and investigations of Elias's, of a 13-year-old were first documented in 2019 when he was a school resource officer at Yakima Middle School, according to his former supervisor, Yakima Police Chief Matthew Murray, in the interview with a staff reporter on March 15th of this year. Records show that he was investigated multiple times, including an investigation by the Washington State Attorney General's office for the allegations. That's really serious crimes. Very serious. And for them to get involved, there was a long list or egregious acts for sure. The West Richland Police Department was contacted by school officials, and the YPD was notified and also investigating the incident. Wow. So, okay. 3 years ago, him and his ex-wife had a confrontation outside of Richland Elementary School. So it kind of started from there, I guess. I don't know if he has other kids. I haven't gotten that far yet. But this is extremely serious. Yes, it really is. It's horrible. I am so afraid. I really am so nervous. And every second counts. So this was again today, or yesterday rather, at 5 p.m. that this was developing. So separation forms filed by Murray on February 14th 2022 with the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Center declared that Huizar, I guess his last name is, not eligible to be rehired by the Yakima Police Department. So he had already been out from being a cop in 2022. Records show he had already been hired by the Richland District on February 8th. So that didn't give enough time for the background checks to clear, huh? I see what he did there. Thank you, Mimi, for sharing. It's unclear what he wrote on the application or who he used for recommendations. Probably fake. But RSD has not provided all of the records requested on February 11th. This is why I know that it really sucks whenever you leave a job that maybe you didn't have really good terms with maybe your boss or something like that. But I would rather have a safer environment, a work environment, especially around children. Since I have one child that goes to school, I would rather them wait. Okay. But I get that it's kind of one of those opportunity cost things. But safety matters, especially if you're going to hire someone, right? And he was an ex-cop. You would want that background. You're not going to just let somebody in. You would want those references and vet them properly. So RSD has a lot of explaining to do on that. Chief Murray said he did not know that Huizar had applied for a job with Richland Schools. So on February 3rd, he was arrested on charges of R-ing 2 minors. And I typically would just say it, but they are cracking down on YouTube is getting out of hand. One of them is the 13-year-old girl that he had been accused of assaulting in 2019. According to Murray, investigators in 2019 said they had found 0 evidence. Fantastic. So he had brushes with the law in North Dakota. Wow. He's been all over the place, y'all. This is a very scary, very dangerous man. In 2008, Huizar, who had attended Dickinson State University in North Dakota as a nationally ranked wrestler, so he has history of being able to subdue, right, was arrested twice in the fall of his senior year. First, in September, he was accused of terrorizing people with a knife. My God. I have never seen such just violence. I mean, again, this was released at 5 p.m. yesterday. And they're just, oh my God. So here's the link on that. He had terrorizing charges in 2019. Good Lord. It was a fight that involved numerous Dickinson State University students threatening people with a knife and trespassing charges. So yeah, this has been a lifelong thing. This man is dangerous. Yeah. TikTok. Corey checks need to happen more quickly. Julia T. Exactly. Yep. Doesn't it? Just a very dangerous dude. Just red flags everywhere. So we went over the knife. Him and along with his brother Ricardo and friend Steven Sanchez, they were arrested in September of 2008 and charged with criminal trespass in connection to a burglary. They were dropped, but he wasn't allowed to complete the rest of his wrestling season. Good. That's good. So then he moves to Washington State and was hired by Yakima Police in 2013. Completed basic academy in November of 2014 and was pinned as an officer in December. So there's the picture where he was pinned. Now, some people actually, from the Facebook comments, know this dude. Some of them actually have met him, had no idea. Some people knew exactly who he was, warned people. So it wasn't like it was a big secret. But again, there were some people that were, you know, I could never see him doing that kind of thing. And you'll never know until you know. So, but who definitely should have vetted more thoroughly is the schools where he worked. He worked around children. Okay. So let's see, 3.5 years later, he was assigned to be the school resource officer, lovely, at Washington Hills Middle School. SROs patrol schools to protect students, staff, and visitors from physical harm and deter criminal activity. His first day was August 31st, 2018. While working there as a SRO, he initiated an inappropriate relationship with at least 2 minor children. One of them continued after he left the Yakima Police Department, according to the chief of police, Matthew Murray. Her name will be Jane Doe in this report. It was an open secret around the school that something was going on. And 13-year-old Jane Doe. According to people living in Yakima at the time, Jane was public on social media about it. So he groomed her. Wow, it was out in the open, folks. Not that I'm no victim shaming at all to obviously a child who was groomed, right? But that's wild to me. Absolutely wild. This is him greeting a group of girls. Great. No wonder he is on the run. No wonder. Yeah, I've never heard of an open secret. Isn't that not a secret? Or is it just not talked about? Right? Openly. So that was 2018. Murray, who moved to Yakima from Colorado to become a police chief, said he was alerted right away about the allegations swirling in 2019. He said the 2 sex crime investigators from the Office of Washington AOG were called in to look into the allegations. In the phone interview with the chief on March 15th, he said 2 investigators found 0 evidence. Great. So then Murray said that a member of Jane's family told investigators she couldn't be believed and that she made things up. My God, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It's getting just out of hand. Egregious. The investigators couldn't find any physical evidence such as text messages and emails between the 2. Probably because they were obviously erased, and he knew how to do that. He knew what to do. He was in an authority. Definitely. Eliza said it's a secret the kids all talk about, but they talk to adults about it, right? Or they do not talk to them about it. Yeah, I understand that. I've definitely, not to this level, but I remember that in school, having, the hush hush secrets swirling and the rumors and yeah. So Huizar filed an anti-harassment protective order against the minor student on September 20th of 2019, a year after he became the resource officer at her school. So Jane Doe, had called him at his home and his wife found out about her. Wow. The child had told friends at school about their contact, and the other students had reported it to the principal. She also sent social media messages about Huizar, but then claimed her account had been hacked. She was eventually expelled from school. Probably was threatened with her life after sending that information. Probably. Metal clips. I have seen a few resource officers get busted for the same and worse lately. Absolutely. There are 2, not as, again, on the same level, but 2 other cases right now. I believe one is in Arizona and the other in Utah or Ohio, one of the 2. But yes, it is becoming very obvious that this is maybe a, a job that predators will definitely seize, right? They will definitely take to harm others. I mean, it's been going on for years. I think it's just coming out more and more. It's harder to hide. So he played the victim in this situation. It seems like it. And then probably bullied his way into obviously getting away with it, right? Intimidating his witnesses. So wife found out, but she backs out because her quote, Facebook was hacked. So she probably said, no, I didn't send that. Anyway, after the administrative case ended, Huizar wanted to stay at Washington Hills Middle School, but Chief Murray said that he transferred him to another middle school in the district in the fall of 2019. By December, Benton County Superior Court records show that his marriage was over. According to Murray, Huizar's ex-wife was an underage student wrestler that he had coached when they first met. So this is obviously from the jump a groomer, predator, abuser, violent criminal. Absolutely. And there was obviously red flags from the jump. And this is why victims who think that they were okay with an inappropriate relationship with someone older, they feel like it was their fault, right? These are kind of the situations that they compare. Well, I know there's stories out there of somebody that even though the gentleman was older, they still are together to this day. Okay. And I understand that. Okay. And if that's the way the cookie crumbles at the time, but that is not an excuse to allow it. If you see it, the law is the law. There's a reason why we have those laws. It's shocking how many child predators there are, right? It's really not that shocking, honestly. They're just really good at not getting caught, but it's getting harder now because of the epidemic and social media being so quick to share information. People can't hold their tongues anymore, but they can go on an account anonymously and start the fire, right? So the wife should have known when she got that call that it had merit and should have been taken seriously. Yep. Yep. On the other hand, though, and I agree with that, on the other hand, seems like she has been victimized by this man pretty much her entire relationship, it seems. And I think she had a child, right? We'll see. I don't know that for a fact yet. So Lieutenant Chad Janis of YPD Internal Affairs Unit wrote on April 12th, 2021, that Huizar had been involved in multiple incidents which resulted in the police being called while he was on leave. One of them occurred at Wiley Elementary in Richland School District between Huizar and his ex-wife. Wow. So this is obviously a habitual problem. So on the same day, Captain Grego sent this email to his team of West Richland Police. Team, some of you have taken reports for or about Officer Elias Huizar, an employee who is currently on leave and lives in our city. The concerns relayed to me include the situation between he and his wife is escalating due to a pending divorce, and he is possibly making false reports during the investigations. Please continue to investigate any reports you receive about or from him, just like any other. If officer safety issues surface during your investigation, please relay the info to the rest of the team. So he was saying, we're going to hold everybody else on this team accountable. Do not give this man a pass. Thank you for that. I appreciate that email, right? Those are the things you want to hear and see. Because that's not always what happens, is it? Honestly, it's harder to find women that have not suffered abuse at some right. Right. It was just kept more quiet back in the day. Mm-hmm. Very true. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So Murray said it was clear that Huizar was spiraling out of control. He referred the case out of Yakima as the department cannot investigate one of their own personnel. And then in April of 2021, God, he was investigated for the excessive use of force. What did he do here? Why? Oh my gosh. So here's just the law. I love this website. Kudos to Tumbleweird. Um, the investigating agency was the Union Gap Police Department. Here's the report text. April of 2021, this officer came under internal investigation as the result of a conduct that occurred off duty involving a family or household member. Pursuant to policy, he was investigated for misconduct. At the time, this officer was on extended leave as a result of a non disciplinary matter. How convenient is that? How convenient. Whew. So then he began 191 days of leave. I wonder if that was paid or not. Um, Chief Murray, who confirmed that the only loss of pay, okay, here it is. The only loss of pay during that time was a 16-hour suspension for failing to report the DV incident at Wiley Elementary. Washington? Washington? Y'all are fucked up over there. Mm-mm. I'm just saying. That was inappropriate. Should have been fired, investigated, arrested, right? So here's the report from the Yakima Police Department. December 2021, the investigation was completed and sustained finding for the misconduct was made. During that internal investigation, unconfirmed information suggesting that he had engaged in a relationship that could have been illegal prior to working as a police officer was disclosed. Due to a conflict with the internal affairs, criminally investigating this officer after potentially garrity information was disclosed, the investigation was turned over to another law enforcement agency to determine the veracity of the allegations. At the time of this notice, we do not know the case number. Investigation is ongoing and no finding has been made. Wow, another failure. Another failure. According to Murray, the relationship mentioned in the report was between Huizar and his now ex-wife. Again, that was the wrestling student that he was coaching. Oh my goodness. This is wild. So during our final internal investigation, we came across information which could have been potentially criminal. Oh my God. They were unable to discover, however, the sufficient evidence to pursue a criminal complaint. Wow. Sorry, but that chief could have taken action. He can write an email, but doesn't mean he really wants to take action. Well, it didn't seem to do anything, did it? You're right. It didn't seem to do a damn thing. So the notice of officer separation documents dated February 14th, 2022 state that Huizar was not eligible to be rehired by the Yakima Police Department. They should have banned him from all police departments or any contact with a minor child. Any job that contains that. So, my God, the background checks. So, he applied to work for that school district in August of 2021 while still an employee of the Yakima Police Department, which again, I stated earlier from this article that he was jumping ship because of his misconduct. Okay. So the background checks hadn't really did their due diligence because there was nothing there anyway. But also, They never checked his sources. They never did their job. The school didn't. So it seems like he applied to the district to obtain an emergency substitute certificate through the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. A background check would have to have been completed with fingerprint analysis before Huizar could have been hired. Since he had not been convicted of any crimes, the background check would not have revealed his past run ins with the law. He shouldn't be allowed with. I won't say that. This is for entertainment purposes only. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty by law. So, when we asked the chief whether he had advised the public school district about any of these investigations, he said that he was unaware of Huizar applying to the school district. We do not track former employees, fair enough. But maybe you should have. Maybe that's something that people can think about in their communities. If you want to be involved, you have children that go to school, maybe it's a good idea to suggest it. That if anyone in a government authority of power in any way, shape, or form that comes across your children and they do some shady shit like this, maybe it should kind of be a bulletin or something. Maybe. In my opinion. No, you're good, hun. Maybe you should. Maybe you should maybe not track them, but give those places where children are and who runs that a heads up, please. Maybe there's some potential there. Typically, all of those that are non-law enforcement and those have some legal requirements would be referred to Yakima Human Resources. I spoke with them and the city verifies facts like dates of employment, but does not make recommendations. Well, and I'm not getting political, but I do know that Washington has a lot of liberal tendencies when it comes to things like this. And there's just no place for that kind of thing when it comes to children. And if people are going to be working around them, there's just no room for it. Absolutely not. In his application to teach, Huizar would have had to list previous employers as well. Tumbleweird has asked for those documents through a public records request, but has yet to receive them. In February of 2022, Huizar was hired by the Richland School District and then officially separated from employment with Yakima Police Department. Is this happened where wow, it's terrifying. Very terrifying. I hope everyone's very alert. This dude needs to be caught immediately. So, in his application to teach, he would have been listed, had to have listed those previous employers. But I highly doubt they're going to get those records. This Tumbleweird. It'd be amazing if they did, though. In February of 2022, Huizar was hired by the Richland School District and then officially separated from his employment. I think I already read this. I'm sorry. He acknowledged by signature that he completed the school district's required sexual misconduct harassment training. On March 7th, he became the official building sub at Jefferson Elementary. So he hops from job to job to job, skirting around the fact that he's either under investigation or charges may be coming, or he's done some really bad shit and he keeps getting away with it. Wow. So he would be in the building every day working as a sub where needed. This is a very strategic, calculating, manipulative groomer, predator, rapist. That's what he is. They need to find him before he crosses into Mexico and takes on a job that could put more. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I wanted to go live so late. Because I think the sooner the better. This information needs to start circulating. People can see something and say something, right? So, I mean, it just keeps going on and on. It's almost I'm almost sick to my stomach if I have to say one more thing about this guy. Um, he filed an anti-harassment protection order against a 13-year-old girl, which is the ex-wife who is now deceased, allegedly murdered by him. I mean, this is what happens when you let people in authority and in power keep doing corrupt things and getting away with the worst things against children and females in this instance. Whew. Huizar impregnated the student when she was 15 years old, and they had stayed together since the birth of their child. So, February 3rd, he supplies 2 minors with alcohol, Jane and her friend, and all 3 of them spent the night drinking. Jane's 16-year-old friend had gotten sick and gone to sleep in the guest. Yeah, I think that you could understand where this is going. He had assaulted her friend. Jane and Huizar argued, and the girls took the baby and left in his truck. Man. The guy attempted to block the girls from leaving, but they were able to get away. When they saw that Huizar was following them, they called the police. The girls went to the nearest populated location, a local gas station, and waited for the police to arrive. The police report notes that both girls appeared very intoxicated. And so, what if they were drugged, right? At the time, Jane also informed the responding officers that Huizar had guns. So, man, One Life to Live, it just keeps getting worse. It's just horrible. So the standoff with the SWAT team. So, goodness, when police arrived at his home, he refused to cooperate. The SWAT team was called in, and it took 2 hours to arrest him. SWAT used flashbangs and megaphones to try to get through to Huizar. He was calling and speaking to Jane throughout the standoff. He was attempting to hide evidence during the hours. The SWAT team was negotiating with him. He was located in the laundry room where, with the washer running when the SWAT team was finally able to arrest him. He had been washing the guest bedroom sheets and comforter. Officer Romaine Killincard-Rittis wrote, "We located a red-gray comforter, red bed sheets, and a gray furry blanket, and a red and gray comforter had white stains, possibly body fluids. From the evidence sheet, it appears that a Colt rifle, 2 loaded rifle mags, a Glock, and loaded magazines were taken from the residence after the standoff." Just horrible guy. $20 an hour as a sub. He had large amounts of cash hidden in the house at the time of his arrest. Does this sound like a trafficker to you? This sounds like a trafficker. This sounds like someone who probably did that on the side for a long time. Both his ex-wife and girlfriend were shot. He took the baby and fled. He was supposed to go to court today for that incident. Why does he still have firearms? I mean, criminals do not abide by the law, right? He can get them anywhere. Good morning, Jeep Girl. Ugh. So if he has all of this money, I have a strong feeling, allegedly, only speculation, that this guy is a trafficker, a professional trafficker, whether it be multiple types, if you will. It's definitely, in my opinion, at least human. Okay. That's just my feelings on this. If he had $15,260 just found in an envelope when he makes $20 an hour as a sub, right? That's That math is mathing with my theory, right? Police also located a backpack that contained his old Franklin Middle School ID badge. Yeah, that's gross. It's probably a trophy for him. Officer Suarez, in his police report, noted that an ultrasound photo belonging to Jane showed that she would have been only 15 years old when she conceived her baby with Huizar. He's faces several charges, including a second-degree rape and furnishing alcohol for minors. He was booked on the charge of second degree. Huizar is being charged separately with third-degree rape for his relationship with 17-year-old Jane. WRPD Detective Grimes noted in his report that since the girl was only 15 when she was impregnated by him, and who was 37 at the time, it constituted a crime of third degree. Okay. Excuse me. Just makes me so angry. I am so angry. Where things stand currently, so his bail was set at $200,000, but he has since bonded out of jail. I cannot believe that. You've got a guy who is obviously violent and dangerous, who is a predator and a rapist. Let's just be real. That's exactly what he is. A PDF file, guns, cash, all of these things. They should have had no bond on him. Held no bond. That's what should have happened. The YPD report showed that Huizar made several phone calls the day he was arrested to both victims. So I was right in my initial review, I guess, that he was definitely harassing them, and that's why they are deceased, in my opinion. The Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission gave Huizar notice on February 7th of this year that they were conducting an investigation into misconduct. How many investigations does it take until this happens? Obviously, at least 4 or 5 or 6. In the letter, they listed Huizar's officer cert as under review. According to the letter, they are committed to enhancing peace officer and corrections officer accountability. Well, that was great now that it's too late, right? As well as public trust and confidence in the criminal justice system. All complaints and agency reports alleging law enforcement officer misconduct are thoroughly reviewed. I'm going to call bullshit on that. The letter goes on to say that a certified officer may surrender their certification, and Huizar was given directions on how to do that. On February 9th, his ex-wife filed a civil protection order against him. And on February 22nd, another unnamed minor received a sexual assault protection order. Huizar pled not guilty when he appeared in court on February 15th. The trial date has been set for April 22nd, which was yesterday. And then this is why we're reporting on this, because he allegedly murdered these two and fled. So there was a pretrial date of April 4th. I'm hoping that they had done that pretrial. Maybe get some information on in background as to maybe if there was warning signs on that. But I'm pretty sure that's obvious, even without that pretrial date. Over his checkered career, he has managed to be hired to work with children as a teacher, a wrestling coach, and a police department SRO. Wow. Student resource officer. This is a reminder to all of those in positions of authority that have a lot of access to children. It is important to remain vigilant. Agreed 100%. I appreciate this website, tumbleweird.org. I have never seen something so thorough in such a short amount of time where a story is breaking and that needs to be discovered so that this guy can be caught and then put under the jail. They even have a Google Drive clip. Damn. Way to go. Look at that. This is everything. Public transparency. I'm going to have to give them a shout out and kind of lighten the mood a little bit because I'm so angry and I'm sure everyone else is angry and hurt. Wow. But when I see these documents like this, very, very nice. Way to go. You are my new favorite website, tumbleweird.org. Shout out, shout out. This is what I try to do for myself and fail miserably because I'll put them in 18 different places because I have 18 different Google Drives. But amazing. I'll put this in the description section of the video. Go ahead and hit that like button while you're here. I'm not going to go through all of these. I just wanted to kind of show you guys this is what's been put out. I'm going to play a video or two and get off of here because it's like, what, almost 3 a.m. for me. But this stuff is out there. Read up, learn from this. Be responsible with it. All right, so here, oh, her name is in there, damn it. I'm going to just get off of here. Don't share that. Redact the names of victims and especially assault victims. All right. So let me play this video to kind of just summarize everything that I went over. Maybe there's something that wasn't mentioned, but this is the latest and greatest so far that I have found on Elias Huizar. This is his ex-wife, Amber Rodriguez. I believe. Let's see. Yeah. She had filed again to modify the custody agreement. So sorry to her and her family. This is a travesty. It really is. Oi, oi, oi. Pull the video up. 1 second, y'all. Please share this. Please let everybody know that he is a fugitive. We need to find him because he's a suspect in murdering his ex-wife and another witness. And also, they need to find and return safely this little boy who's lost everything because of his actions. This piece of shit right here on your screen. Let me pull, actually, you know what? Let me pull up the, while I'm looking for that damn video. Here's the Amber Alert for Yakima. The amount of things he got away with for so long and shit up until this point is ridiculous. I'm flabbergasted. Okay. Yeah, but please share that. Okay, let's watch this. See if there's anything else to add. Oh, I think it was on a live. Hold on. There we go. 24/7 news. Gotta wait for the ad, of course. Of course. Check in with chat while we wait. Uh-huh. His ex-wife and the girlfriend's baby mama. Okay. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate that. She was so beautiful. Beautiful. And my heart already breaks for this little boy who, again, lost his mother. Good Lord. How many ads do we need to play? Yes, let's find this baby. Absolutely. Right. If they don't hurry up, I mean, time's ticking, right? Hey, Iris, Jesse. Good to see you. Is this actually live right now? Hold on. I miss the good old days of just you got a video as soon as you went onto the article, and that was that. You didn't have to search a billion places. Ridiculous. 2 hours ago, 3.
I want to begin with breaking news. An Amber Alert has been issued for a missing one-year-old boy. State Patrol believes Roman Huizar may be with his father, who is considered armed, dangerous, and on the run. Roman has brown hair and brown eyes and is not known what he is wearing at this time. If you've seen Roman or know where he is, call 911 immediately. State Patrol says Roman's father is suspected of murdering his ex-wife and his girlfriend near West Richland. Thank you for joining us for the News at 10. I'm Sabir Rayford.
And I'm Matthew Smith in for David Rose. Now, we do want to show you a picture of 40-year-old Elias Huizar, pictured here on your screen. Now, just before 3:30 this afternoon, the West Richland Police Department responded to a shooting on the grounds of Wiley Elementary School. Now, a woman was found dead there, and Huizar was named a person of interest. Now, while searching for him and serving a search warrant on his home, police found another victim dead inside that home. Investigators say Huizar is likely to commit more crimes. Now, they believe that he is connected to a silver 2009 model Toyota Corolla, like the one that you see on your screen here.
Take a screenshot. Take all the screenshots. Share it on your community pages. Share it on your Facebook, social media, Instagram, whatever you got to do. Make a TikTok. But this guy needs to be caught immediately.
That is CB74745. That is the license plate that would be attached to that car. If you see him or you see this car, you are being asked to call police. Now, we do want to give you one more look at one-year-old Roman. Again, if you've seen Roman, this young boy, police need to hear from
Handsome
you
little
immediately.
fella.
Pick up the phone and call 911.
No, he never should have had bail. He never should have gotten away with so many. It wasn't just 1, 2, 3, 4. It was at least 7 or 8 different incidences that could have stopped or prevented this shit. But that's not how it works. It's horrible. Well, everybody pray for the little boy's safe return, even though it's heavy with the details that were covered, and pray for the victims and their families. I cannot imagine having to feel that. All of that. Not only losing your daughter or your sister or whatever, your family member, and then also not know where her child is at the hands of that monster. So please just be kind. Be kind. Because it's going to start becoming, circulated tomorrow. It's going to be heavy, and there's going to be exploiters out there on YouTube. Spend your energy wisely and think of that little boy and what we talked about and those victims and their experiences. Think about that before you get into a chat with someone who's going to exploit that. Okay? It is important and it does matter, and it starts with the viewers. Without the demand, we wouldn't have those issues. So please spend your energy wisely on these YouTube streets and think of the victims. Sarah, did you get the alert on your phone? No one here in my house did. We are in West. That's insane, Nina, that you're close to the situation just by proximity and you didn't get one. I didn't get one. I usually get emails with every state out there that has an Amber Alert issued, besides the 2 that don't have that. And I didn't get nothing. My beautiful mod, One Life to Live, messaged me. Thank God. Because I had no idea. No idea. Absolutely. Just share it. He needs to be caught. And I'm hoping that will be now, right? Sarah says that her and her mother got 2 alerts. It must be if you signed up for those alerts or something. Maybe there was other steps that are missing. Like a code red alert or something. I don't know how it works over there, though. One Life to Live says she's barely got the Amber Alert, right? Oh, gosh. So maybe there's just something else. Maybe it's just location-wise. I wonder if they even have an idea as to where he is at all. They said that he was more than likely trying to flee to Mexico, which makes sense. It makes sense. So that's why even if you're in Texas, Oklahoma, anywhere that, he's coming to Mexico, share it. If you're close to the border, share it. If you're in the in-between, share it. If you're in New York, share it. It doesn't matter. Everybody share it. We got the ones last week for a boy in Western Washington. Yeah, I saw that one. And what you're talking about. You got a 7-hour head start. Yeah, that's about what? Definitely going into at least the surrounding states. Halfway at least. Yeah. Very frustrating. You think with all the technology, they do better. It starts with the locals. I'm a very big component and proponent of being involved in your local communities to make sure that you have these safeguards in place. Hi, Mr. Eve. I'm coming. I'm wrapping up. There's a big case. I don't know if you were watching, but let's hope this baby is found in the next few hours. Yeah, so I'm going to go update Mr. Eve. He was asleep and the baby was asleep. I'm assuming the baby is not asleep anymore. But please share, and prayers to the victim. And I hope this baby's found and this guy is put under the jail. All right, guys, as I say, drink your water, advocate appropriately for these missing children and their families. And I will see you on the next live. Bye, guys.
Somewhere and dyed my hair now. Wanna be alone. It's much to bear, and you don't. got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, now you're begging